Alright guys, I'm Duncan, and today we're going to be taking a look at how to dial in Adam Jones's guitar tone from Tool using the Revalver 5 plugin from HeadRush. So first things first, of course, I'm not Adam Jones, nor can I play exactly like him, but what we can do is we can take a quick look at some research and see how I would best go about dialing in that awesome guitar tone that is known for on all the Tool records. Guitar-wise, we're going to be using my 1981 Gibson Les Paul Custom Black Beauty. So let's open a fresh instance of Revalver 5 and see how we can get that guitar tone. So amp-wise, when taking a little bit of research online, I found that Adam Jones typically uses a diesel VH4 head to get most of his guitar tone. So when we open up Revalver 5 and we take a look, we don't have a VH4, but what we do have is a 2003 diesel Herbert. So we're going to open that up and take a look. Settings-wise, I did find a picture online of Adam Jones's actual settings for that. So what I did is I copied that and then adjusted everything to make that work with the 2003 Herbert. First one was I pushed the treble just up a little bit, about 1-2 o'clock, to add a little bit more kind of presence and spite. Mids, we boost that all the way forward to get a lot of clarity in the guitar tone. Bass we took completely out just to leave room for that awesome bass tone which is typically known on the Tool records. And then gain wise we're about 1 o'clock just to leave that a little less saturated. Channels, I'm on the third channel, so it's kind of crunchy, but it's not too kind of oversaturated. And then cabs, when looking at his diesel amplifier tone, I found that he typically uses a 4x12 Mesa Boogie cab. So what I did is I found it on here. The Flat Hill Studio is based off of one of the Mesa Boogie cabs. So we've got that up on one of the top speakers, and then we're slightly to the left, just off center of the cone in terms of mic placement. And this is what the guitar tone sounds like, just straight in. The next amp he uses is most typically a 1976 Marshall Super Bass. The Revalver 5 plugin does not have this, but when watching a couple of other demonstration videos online as well, I've seen a few people use a JCM 800 to kind of replicate that tone. When I had a look, it looks like he runs that through a 2x15 Mesa Boogie bass cab as well. When we take a look on the Revalver 5 plugin, I've loaded up a JCM 800 here. Similar to the diesel settings, I've rolled the bass all the way down, I've pushed the mids all the way forward. Treble's rolled back a little bit just because this is typically quite a dark amplifier and we just want this to kind of sit nicely underneath that diesel as our main amplifier. Rolled back a little bit of the preamp and the master just to kind of make it a nice crunchy tone, not an overly saturated tone. And then yeah, once again, we've got a nice kind of Mesa Boogie 2x15 bass cab, and we've loaded that up just kind of above the cone. So this is what the Marshall sounds like. When we add those both in then with the diesel, this is what it sounds like together. Guitar pedals, we've added a stereo doubler on the very front, just because most of Adam Jones's guitar riffs are double tracked, if not even quadruple tracked on some of the instances. So this just gives it a little bit more of a double track feel out of the mono signal on our kind of Logic Pro session here. Next as well, I've added a little bit of drive from a tube screamer. This just tightens up a little bit of the bottom end on the guitar tone, which can sometimes come, say, from the Marshall and that diesel amplifier. It removes a little bit of that sag and just tightens the whole tone up a little bit. Because I didn't want it to color too much, I left the drive literally on 0.3, level is at 12, and then our tone is at 12. So this is literally just to add a little bit of tightness to that. When we go on our second effects after the amplifier, I was lucky enough to get sent from one of my friends who's a very huge Tool fan, sent over a couple of Adam Jones's actual guitar pedal settings from his Instagram. So the first thing I found was he had an EQ. On that EQ, what we've done is we have kind of boosted around 100 Hertz, dropped a little bit around 200, left everything kind of quite equal on 400 and 800, and then towards that kind of top end to add a little bit of clarity to the guitar tone, boosted 1.6, 3.2, and 6.4. And I've done that on both channels from the Marshall and then also the diesel. So with all the guitar pedals kind of plugged in, this is what it sounds like. Ambient effects, I've added a air delay, which is based off the Pro Tools air delay plugin, just on both channels, so on the diesel and on the Marshall. And then I've also added a very nice Hall reverb, so sampled Hall reverb onto both channels. Both of them, the mix signal is quite low, so on the reverb we're down at 8%, and on the reverb we're at -23. So this just adds a nice little kind of stereo field to those more ambient style riffs which Adam Jones plays. And then lastly, the nice thing about Revalver 5 is that we then also get this kind of output mixer board, which is really helpful just to kind of before you go into Logic Pro or any of your favorite DAWs. What I've done here is I've actually kind of blended these channels. So I've panned the diesel 27% over to the left, same thing with the Marshall on the right. What I have also done is I've used a little bit of like a nice onboard EQ here, just once again to kind of remove a little bit of those basses and boost a little bit more of the mids and the treble to get that bite on the guitar tone. I've also added a very nice kind of compressor on the front just to kind of really give me that full signal before we go into the DAW. So hopefully that gets you somewhere in the ballpark of Adam Jones's guitar tone. If you have any issues about dialing in this guitar tone yourself using the Revalver 5 plugin, then I have left a preset in the description below so you can download that and it will load up exactly what I used for the tracks that you've heard in this video. I have also left a MIDI file in the description below for the BFD player drums. So if you do have the BFD player, which is a free plugin by the way, then you can load that MIDI track straight in and then you'll have the tool backing tracks that I used in this video. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Please drop a like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell to see when we're going to post our next video. Drop a comment down below on what you thought I did right or maybe wrong, and also who you think I should do the tone challenge for next. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.